Just days after giving birth to her first child, Lady Vols head coach Kim Caldwell is already back with her team in preparation of Monday's showdown with South Carolina. Now, the acceptance and support for women to choose to be both a coach and a mom is something Joan Cronan tells me she saw change when Pat Summitt became a mother.
I remember when I was coaching, I was the trainer, the bus driver, and all of that. Today they have support, but also they have a lot more pressure.
Former players at Tennessee, they all always go back to Pat Summitt and the encouragement that she was even giving then about being a mom and a coach. How much do you think she truly did change the narrative about being able to be both?
Well, I think she was so visible. And it was the first time a coach had been, we were on television and we did the television series, the HBO. And so I think that helped a lot. They said, well, if Pat can do it, I can do it too. And I just think it's wonderful being a mother and being a coach and coaching as my children were growing up. It just brings a different perspective. As an AD, I always tell my coaches to treat every one of our athletes like they were my daughter and what would they do. And I think that's important that you come and look at it that way, and it's important to have a balanced life. Now, to say it's easy, it's not. You have to plan ahead. Pat was the best dual-focused, being able to do more than 2 or 3 things at a time. If you said, Joan, what are your priorities? I would say God, family, Tennessee, athletics, tennis, golf, and some of those other things. But I think you have to keep your priorities correct, and it makes you do that more. I told my daughters just the other day, I have 2 daughters and I have five grandchildren, and I told them I was so proud of so many things that they had done in life, but the thing that I was most proud of is what a good mother they were. And I said, and I hope you can say that about me, because that was a #1 priority, that I keep that priority clear.
Former Tennessee Lady Vols Athletic Director and member of 7 different Halls of Fame, Joan Cronan has seen firsthand the drastic change in support for coaches like Kim Caldwell, who are now also mothers. A new reality Joan is very excited to witness.
It has been absolutely tremendous, from coming in and doing what she's doing on the coaching to now handling the birth of a new child and being able to coach and be a good mother. I'm excited, and I know she'll do a great job.
Joan knew at a young age she wanted to be involved in sports in some capacity. She would go on to do more than just that. She helped shape the industry of women's athletics. She did so while being a young mom. When she moved from Knoxville to Charleston, she had 2 young daughters, Stacy, who was 2 weeks old, and Christy, who was 17 months. Her husband just accepted a job at the Citadel. While juggling 2 babies, she was determined to stay in athletics and be a coach.
I literally went down to the College of Charleston, made a cold call to the president of the College of Charleston and said, you need to have women's athletics. Because this was right in 1972 when Title IX came out. And he looked at me and he said, you know, we do. And so I don't know whether it was a good negotiator or a bad negotiator, but I walked out of his office and I was volleyball coach, basketball coach, tennis coach, and AD. So I got to start the program, which was really special to me. You should have seen my husband's face when I came home. Said, guess what? I got a job. And it is. But I immediately surrounded myself with great people, and we moved, and 10 years later, we were named the #1 Division II program in the country. And fortunately, that's when Tennessee came knocking on my door and said, would you come back and be AD here? And we took that opportunity and never have looked back.
Yeah, so how did you do all that and be the bus driver?
Well, you just made it happen. Yes. 24 hours, you didn't sleep much. That would be it. But, you know, I think that everybody wants to help and learning to accept help.
How did becoming a mom maybe change your...
Well, I think it makes you plan ahead. It makes you work harder. But also, you know, I've got to give a lot of credit to my husband because he was a great partner in helping. And I think Kim Caldwell has that right now. I'm so excited about them working together with the baby. So, but you know, you can't do it all by yourself, and you have to be willing to reach out. But it changes your life in that to me, you can't see a child born and not believe there's a God, and there's a responsibility to do that, have that little baby, and all of a sudden they're growing up and they're having babies. So it's really been fun for me to watch that, and I loved, you know, as an AD. With my coaches, I always wanted them to know that I supported them and that, you know, I would do whatever we could do to make their life the best they can be, because I knew they wanted to be a good mom and they also wanted to be a good coach.
Now, as the industry changes, the head coach isn't also the bus driver. It's more possible than ever to thrive being both.
You know, we're in a time that women have opportunities to do whatever they want to do. And I hope that they can take that opportunity to be the best that they can be. The best wife, the best partner, the best mom, whatever they choose to do, they have that opportunity. And I think that's the best thing.
What was that learning curve for you when you did become a mom, when you were a coach, or maybe how you saw that with Pat Summitt and Tyler?
Well, I think you immediately, I mean, giving birth and seeing that child, your life changes because you've got a bigger responsibility than you ever had. Now, how you treat that, get that responsibility into your life is important. I get asked all the time, what made Pat Summitt a great coach? And she was a great teacher. And she had the ability to focus on what was important. And so when Tyler came along, it changed that focus a little bit. And I think it made her a better understanding of a person and also be able to do it all.
I spoke with Shelly Collier earlier, and she said, now, did Pat becoming a mom make her softer? I'm not sure, but it made her a better coach.
Yeah.
Then you see her go win 6 more national titles after having Tyler in 1990. So did you see her become softer? Or
Yeah, I think she did. I mean, I think she, you know, you look at it differently. Like I said, I look at it, what would I want to have for my daughter? Or what would I want to have for my son? I think that would be really important. When you mentioned Shelly, you know, over the years, I've had lots of athletes call back and ask for advice or, you know, would you recommend me for this? And a lot, but one of the neatest phone calls I ever got was from Shelly. And Shelly called and said, Joan, I've been offered the job, and this was going to Webb as the head coach at Webb. And she said, I watched you with your kids handle that. Do you think I can going into a high school job like this? And I said, you absolutely can, because you have that focus, you have that love, and you have to have a partner that's going to help you too. So be sure you start from the very beginning and get that help from other people. But that was just, to me, a really wonderful compliment for her to call and ask not about how much I should get paid or how much, you know, what are the responsibilities, but can I do it as a mom and a coach? And my answer is yes. Kim's mom sat with me at a game recently, and it was so much fun to see her, how proud she was of Kim. And you know, one of the things she said that really hit me, she said, I'm so proud of everything Kim has done, but I'm really the most proud of her faith and how she lives that faith through coaching. And of course, that was very important to me, and so I like that. But then she said, you know, as soon as Kim goes into labor, I'm on my way, and I'm here to help. And I'll stay as long as Kim needs me to stay. And I thought that was so good. And she said, do you think Kim really knows what's going to happen? I said, no, none of us do, but you adjust.
It's important to make the right decisions, like when to go for it on 4th down, or when to kick the field goal or go for the touchdown. It's also important to make the right insurance decisions, too. That's why my office, Trey McAdams State Farm, is here to help you select the right protection at the right price. Our office will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages, so you'll know what to expect when the unexpected happens. With Trey McAdams State Farm, it's easy to make the right call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Proud sponsor of the Tennessee Vols.